I'm in our brand new high tunnel here at the USU Botanical Center that we're using for propagation. It's so nice to have a space to do this. We're going to be finishing up talking about seeds starting today. So we're actually going to start some seeds. We'll check in with the seeds as time goes on, show you how things are going, show you what failed, show you what's working, all of that stuff. So last week we talked about containers. I have my containers here ready to go. I have a nice lightweight, you can kind of see how light it is, really lightweight soil, mainly made up of peat moss, some compost. There's a bunch of perlite and vermiculite in here, which are minerals that help us hold water and open up pore spaces in the soil so that it doesn't compact and so that we can move water and air through the soil. So I'm going to fill up my little pony pack here, and there's not a lot of big pieces in the soil. It is really, really fine, which is important because I've got teeny tiny roots that are going to be going through this soil. So I'm going to fill it up. I'm not going to pack it down really, just barely, so that I know that it's filled. And then I'm going to grab my seeds. Now the seeds I'm planting today are digitalis, and I'm planting so early because I read the seed packet. Now the seed packet is really, really important. You should read this top to bottom. You should do some research online because there are a few key things that it will tell you here. Number one, how many weeks in advance to your last frost to plant. This one says 10 to 12 weeks before I plant it out in the garden, it needs to be started. So January feels early, but when I look at 10 to 12 weeks, that's the right timing. So I want to make sure that I do that. It also tells you your planting depth. This is a tiny, tiny seed, and it's going to go right on the top of the soil. And I'm not really going to cover it up because it also tells me it needs light to be able to germinate. So I need to make sure I have light available for these seedlings to germinate. So I'm going to show you, hopefully, how teeny, teeny, tiny these seeds are. I mean, look at this. They're so small. So a little bulbular planter would help, bulbular seeder would help you for sure. I'm going to be a little bit crazy and I'm going to do it by hand. And I just take 2 or 3 in my fingers and I twist my fingers so slowly until I see 1, maybe 2 drop down. I mean, you want to be really judicious. Seeds are expensive, and especially some of these cut flower varieties are expensive. So we don't want to waste seeds. So after we get that done, and put this back, put it back in the right packet so I know what it is. Sometimes these little tiny seeds come in wax paper bags inside your seed packet. Now I'm going to put a material called perlite. I've already mentioned that, but I'm going to do a little scattering of perlite over the top of these seeds. I'm not going to do it heavy, really, really light. This is going to help me to hold in a little bit of moisture so that these seeds can germinate, but it's not going to impede the light. I'm also going to water these seeds from the bottom up. I am going to get the soil initially wet very, very lightly and then water from the bottom up so that I don't disturb the soil and cover up the seeds because we've got to have that light to germinate. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label. In this tray, I've got 2 different varieties. I've got a pink and I've got a white digitalis. I want to make sure that I know which one's which, so when I go to plant them out in our cut flower garden, it all makes sense. So these are going to go on the heat mat. They're also going to go under a light. That light's going to be right on top, a few inches, 1 or 2 inches above this tray, so that we can get good light for good germination.